Okay.
Hi, hi everyone, Sue Matsuki for Sue's Muse, and today I have a very special muse that many of you will recognize. Please welcome Susan Winters. Hi,
Hi. Hey,
how
hi,
are
hi.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
how's the weather down there?
Hot. It's
Yeah.
starting to get hot. A friend of mine actually on the golf course said to me today, if you can't handle this, you don't want to be here in the summer. I said, well, who knows? Who knows?
For those
We'll
of you
see.
who don't know Susan, Susan is a phenomenal singer. Most people that I interview are. But more so than that, she was really big on our scene in our cabaret community because she and Deb Berman hosted one of the best and most fun open mics down at the Metropolitan Room.
Thank you.
Do you miss New York? Do you miss us?
I luckily I have a little pied a terre, so I get to New York. Not enough, but I certainly get my fix because it's pretty homogeneous around here. So we just like to walk around and go to museums and go to, let's see, we were there for Deb's son's wedding actually a week ago, and we went to the Philharmonic and we went to the Metropolitan Museum to see the Raphael exhibit. So we do that kind of thing. And so we get in. I saw, I think, Rosemary Law's show. Like I always like to go at least, to keep my foot in it. I hope maybe this summer. I'll see if I can get Ted or whatever. Maybe I'll put a show together. And
Maybe next year we can get you back at Winter Rhythms. This year we're doing an all tribute show, so I have like a wait list of like 20 people. But you were in
yeah,
Winter Rhythms a couple years ago and you killed it. It was so much
thank
fun. It
you.
was so great to have you back on a New York
I
stage
was in the
again.
original Winter Rhythms and I did it for a long. Frances was a real fan and she would invite me all the time, which was lovely.
Well,
Lovely.
we'll definitely talk about having you back for sure.
Thank
Now,
you.
talk to me about what is your life like down there and what's the singing scene? I keep up with you on Facebook and you're singing a lot, but it's like with
Singing a
different
lot.
registers and stuff. How did that come to be, Susan?
Well, what happened was, I believe you give to get.
Yeah.
So when I first moved down here, somebody called and said, we're doing a fundraiser. And of course you'll sing. I hear you're a singer. Of course you'll sing. I said, well, it's a fundraiser. Are you paying me? She said, absolutely not. You live here. And I thought about it and I said, okay, and I have tracks. I can do that. So I did that. And I opened for this wonderful comedian who passed this fall. His name was Sarge. I don't know if you know the name, people will. He was just phenomenal. And I started to sing, and Sarge said, oh my God, where did you come from? Who the heck are you? And, so that was really complimentary. And he introduced me to someone who introduced me to someone who introduced, and he just kept saying, plant seeds. So I believe in saying yes,
Hmm.
because you never know, when the next one is going to turn up. And I remember, I meditate and I remember having an affirmation and saying, well, if I could get 18 jobs a year, that would be one and a half, a month. I'd be happy. Well, last year I had 38. So little by little by little, I sing with two big bands. I sing with a combo every month at this place called Devonshire. Um,
Now,
I
let me ask you, did you ever do like cruise ships or sing with a big band back in the day? Because
I
that's a whole
sang
other
with a big
chart
band.
situation,
Yeah,
right?
sang with a big band back in the day, absolutely. And singing with a big band is like doing karaoke with live musicians
Right.
because the chart is there, and you have to make sure you are one of the instruments following the chart. You can't do your thing. You
Mhm.
can't say, "Oh, I'd like it rubato here." Doesn't happen. You just keep the thing going because you got 17 other guys who are following the same chart.
Yeah.
So I sing with two different big bands. One is at this place, Benvenuto, and people come for pits and they're dancing, and it's like dancing with the stars with dinner. It's great. And then the other band I sing with is at a community center in Jupiter, and that's also once a month, mostly in season. And people come a little dressed down, but they come and have lunch and they come. It's wonderful. It's been so much fun. And
This
next
is more like nightclub entertaining, kind of what Marilyn May does and stuff. But Is there a cabaret presence anywhere down there where you are?
Yes, there is. There is. There are singers who come down all the time. Jeff Horner is always doing something, and there's Delray Playhouse. There are people. There is a South Florida cabaret scene. Um, a woman named Mary Ziv. I think you
Oh yeah,
might.
we know Mary. Mary's lovely. Yeah.
Mary's lovely, and she kind of heads that. And I just decided, like, I guess I'm going to do my thing. I'll support everybody in what they're doing. Oh,
You just popped off.
oh, I'm coming back. Here we
That's
go.
okay. There you are.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't touch anything.
So, okay, I'll say, okay, meeting is being recorded. So, yes, there is some cabaret. Rob Russell does an open mic at this place called Cafe Centro. Dawn DeRoe is down here. And then there are some really wonderful singers. Phyllis Kinsler was a big, presence in the community, supporting everyone. Avery Summers is down here. She did, some
Oh,
Broadway
those are great names.
musicals.
That's awesome.
So people are doing it. And there's a radio station called Legends Radio, and they're playing Great American Songbook all the time.
I forgot. Did you have a CD?
I did. It won a Mac. Love Rolls On. My CD won
Awesome.
a Mac.
Well, everybody go find it if you still have a
But
CD
I know
player.
you can find it's on Apple. I think it's on Apple iTunes. Um, but that was a while ago. I was going into studio. I had the songs picked out. I had everything picked out. And then, life,
Yeah.
life.
Tell me about life now. I know that you golf because like I said, I stalk you on Facebook every now and then and see what you're up to. And that's actually what prompted you becoming a muse because I was thinking, oh, I should give Susan a call and just catch up with her. And I'm like, oh, I bet you a lot of other people would like to catch up with her. I'm going to put her on camera.
It's very funny. I'm doing the show on Thursday for a fundraising organization called PAP. They raise money for cancer research. And the show is called If It's Not One Thing, It's Your Mother. And it's really a Mother's Day tribute. And it happens to be on my mother's birthday, which is really funny. But so I was in the process of working with this wonderful pianist named Gianni Bianchini. Gianni is all of 37 years old. He reminds me of a young Ted, and he sings and he plays and he's great. So I'm doing the show with him, and he asked me to do a Saturday night in 2 weeks with him, and then another one in June. So, like I said, jobs keep coming up, which is fun. So the agent is a new agent. He asked me for some videos and promos and things. So I was sitting here looking through videos, and I found some old things from open mic at the Met. And I'm sitting here having the best time,
Well,
the
you
best
drew a
time.
lot of really fabulous
Oh my
singers because it was a safe
goodness.
place, but it
It
was a
was
higher level. It was a
safe.
higher
It
level
was
open mic.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. And we loved doing it because we used different pianists all the time.
Right.
And everybody got to see who they liked to work with, who they didn't gel with, who was a little ornery, who was a little wonderful for them, who was teaching. It was really, really wonderful. And then we had a group of young people come in, a whole little group that used to call themselves Too Good for Karaoke. And they said they used to go to karaoke, but they felt like they wanted another level. And they were just the most adorable. Or people coming from other countries, Japanese women who would, they could barely speak English, but they're singing jazz.
And then they swung. Yeah.
Oh my God, so much fun. So I found the closing day. I just found that, we have a video of us singing the closing song. And it's just so special, what we
And
do.
you and Deb were kind of like Laverne and Shirley of
That's
cabaret.
exactly what we called ourselves, the
Oh,
Laverne and
really?
Shirley. Oh my God, the Laverne and Shirley of cabaret. In fact, when she texts me, she says, "Hi Shirley, how you doing?" I'm Shirley, obviously. Um, and we
So
just
clearly you've kept in touch because you said you just went to her
she's
son's
down
wedding.
here,
Yeah.
actually. She is down here.
Yeah.
And she's not doing much singing anymore, but she's doing other things. She's a rip, and she always lands on her feet. God bless her.
Who do
So,
you still keep in touch with up here from the crew?
Well, sometimes Joanne Halev, like really not as many as I like. Like I said, I went to Rosemary's show the other night. It was last week, and I got to see some people, which was lovely. Um, but I'm really down here. I do most of my stuff down here. If I can get up to a show, I will. And, like if I'm there, I'll look and see who's there.
Hmm.
So that's
Wow. And again, what do you do? I'm sure you have a whole social life there. You and your husband. How's your husband? He's doing well?
he's good. He's very good. Yeah, we have our kids. I have one in Riverdale and one in Madison, Wisconsin. He was just here. And, dinners and things and golf. And he plays pickleball. I do not. I had my shoulder replaced, not a reverse, a regular shoulder replacement. The parts just don't work the same way they used to.
Tell me about it.
Uh, but you do what you can do.
As I hobble on my two replaced knees, I hear you.
Oh, you poor thing.
I'm
That,
good. I'm fine. It was, I'm back. I'm swimming. I'm swimming a lot now, trying to keep fit. So
that's great.
yeah,
That is great.
yeah.
That's great.
So tell me, in the big scheme of things, what was one of the lessons that you learned from your time here in New York? Because you had been a singer your whole life, but
Right.
what was the difference between, to you, the difference between what cabaret was versus this kind of nightclub big band singing? I mean, it's clearly a different
Well,
genre, but
obviously, I did band singing. I did small bands and big bands. I had left, I was a teacher, but I had left teaching for a while, traveled on the road. The joke is the band was called Brief Encounter. Unfortunately, it was. Uh, but I had done that. And then when I came off the road, I went back to teaching. So I was teaching 5 days a week, 9 to 3, and then singing on Friday and Saturday night at this place called Ricardo in Astoria. And I did that until my 7th month with Avi. And, somehow I learned how to switch gears. And I had always said I was used to working and I wanted to work. Cabaret was a whole other animal to me. It wasn't a bar, it wasn't a restaurant. People were there to listen to you, to hear what you had to say. And so I learned about the arcs, the small arcs, the big arcs. What do you want to say? What's the point of this show? It's like doing a dissertation.
hmm.
And I learned an incredible amount from all the people I worked with. Barry
And I'm
Corn.
sure it also informed how you big band sing now, even though you have to
Oh,
stay to a
absolutely.
structure,
You
you know.
can't go back.
Yeah,
You can't go back. You can't go back to just la 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 la. It doesn't work that
it's got to
way.
mean something.
Once you have that, the roadmap, you can't go back the other way.
Yeah.
And so it informs everything I do. What I found, I did about 8 or 9 different shows, complete shows. And because I thought I was going to do one every year, because I'm nuts. But I found that here I can take what I call modules. So I can take this piece from that show with that block of patter and put it with this piece from that show with that block of patter.
Mhm.
And I can create something totally new. In January, I got a call from someone who I know who said, Susan, you've really helped us out. He said it was actually an email at 6 o'clock in the morning. And he said, we have Cantor so and so coming, and he just canceled on us. Can you put a show together for tomorrow night? So I said, I need a pianist. And I called, pianist A, B, C, and D. And lo and behold, pianist, because I have what I call um, plan A and plan A and then plan A,
Yeah, I hear you. I hear
exactly.
you.
So one of the guys was available, and I pulled this from here and this from here and this from here. And before I knew it, I had a show. And that was it. I could do that because I'm used to doing it. And it's
So
so much
when you
fun.
were here, like you knew that Julie Wilson was my mentor,
Yes.
and my special friend Dana Lorge was,
Yeah.
Trudy Mann was. Who was it when you were here that you kind of looked up to, and what was the best advice a mentor or that person gave you in
Mm.
terms of singing or life? It doesn't
Well,
matter.
Barry Kleinbort is still one of my dearest friends
Mm,
and is absolutely my mentor slash friend slash pal, rabbi, whatever.
yeah,
And actually, we had breakfast last week. We have these 2 3 hour breakfasts or lunches or dinners or whatever
he's the
every time I
best.
come up. And Barry told me um, the 3 words that I keep very close. You are enough. That's it. That's it. Because I always want to do more, do more, do less, do less, do less.
Less is more.
Less is more. You are enough. There's no
You know who said
pushing.
that to me, surprisingly, was Stu Hamstra.
Oh, wow.
One of my very first shows, I was using props, and
Uh-huh.
he said, I never forgot it because it was before my association with Julie Wilson. He said, like Julie Wilson, you just need to stand there and sing. You're
Right.
enough. And he used that word. And that's always been, it's a lot of our issues from when we're kids. Are
Sure.
we
Of
enough? Are
course.
we enough? You know, always trying to prove ourselves.
Mhm.
But yeah, it sounds like something Barry would say, and sage advice for sure.
Yeah.
Are enough, everyone. And in this world of AI and fake generating, fakeness and all this stuff, I love a woman of a certain age, because I am one, that just owns who they are and where they are and has something to say and pass on to future generations. And you are so much that. You were that even as a peer of mine, and even as someone in my age bracket, you were someone I always looked up to here because you had it together, Susan, and you were such a good performer and still are. But
Thank
I
you.
really wanted to thank you for all the lessons you've given to those of us who learned from you at the open mic, and even those youngins that came in. I bet you they learned a lot. So,
That is so sweet. Sue, thank you so much. You're very, very special. You've always been very special. You were my first reviewer. You
yeah,
stopped in at the show. You didn't know what you were seeing. And you said, I might as well stay. You came at the wrong time for someone. And you said, I might as well stay. And you said, wow. It was $1 Million Matinee. And I was like, so surprised. And you wrote it up in Stu Hamstra's
Cabaret Hotline online.
Cabaret
Yeah.
Hotline. Yes. Yes.
God, we go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today,
Thank
everyone.
you.
I'm going to have a link to a clip that Susan's going to send to me so you can hear what she sounds like. And if you're up here and going to do anything, let me help you book something. I'd love to have you back.
That
And,
would be great.
I know people. I can just call and get you booked somewhere. Trust me, trust me. I'll act as your agent.
Thank you so much.
And then
Thank
we'll fill your room because this is someone you really want to hear sing. This woman swings her face off, sings her face
you.
off, and swings her butt off. And I'm really happy to have the time to catch up with you. Thank you
Thank
for
you so
joining.
much for doing this. I appreciate it. You be well.
We'll see you all next time on Sue's Muse. Thank you for joining us and have a great day.